Or
All
just
right.
implement a everybody mute themselves, and then if you want to untalk, unmute yourself, and then
Perfect.
Wasabi will tell you to speak.
Perfect. That's perfect. Yes, please do that. All right. So basically, the reason why we're here today is CHP is going under a few different changes. Not really changes, but more of just like we're implementing some new things and a more stable command structure. Um, One thing, if you look at CHP announcements and you look at the platoon roster, you'll notice we have divided the department into four platoons. Fourth platoon doesn't really have anyone in it right now, but I'm about to accept some people who are about to go into fourth platoon. So basically, what's going on with the platoons? If you and I recommend having also the person roster open out on a different Google tab that we can switch between, so you can follow along. So if you look at the actual CHP roster, you'll see there is C. Rodriguez. He is the overall platoon leader and supervisor. He is also the assistant of operations, which I'll go over those positions later. But right now, I want to focus on the platoons. Rodriguez's job is to oversee the platoons and over all of them and double check and make sure everything's accurate. Then there's first platoon leader, which is Abe, HP 34. Second platoon leader, which is HP 31, Foxtrot. Third platoon leader, which is Awesome Gamer, HP 20, and fourth platoon leader is HP 21, Hammer. So the point of the platoons is to create a more stable command structure where you go and do stuff in your platoon. Also, your platoon leaders will keep tabs on you, keep up with you, see how you're performing, what type of behavior you have, how well you're doing, and also if you need discipline, if you need to be talked to, and basically your platoon leaders are responsible for making you a better officer. So the point of this is basically, if you have a problem, you will go to your platoon leader. If you have a question, go to the platoon leader. And then that platoon leader, if they need to, they'll take it to the higher level, which is Rodriguez. And then if it needs to be, Rodriguez will take it to whatever levels of CHP staff it needs to be taken to. So basically, just also keeps everything organized. We can figure out, like, basically, we're saying, like, let's say on the negative side, if we have someone acting up, we have someone we can see not performing well, we can go to their platoon leader and say, hey, this guy needs to be this guy needs to be, doing 1019s. He needs to see how it's done more because he obviously isn't getting it. So I need you to, I would say that platoon leader, HP whatever, needs to be on a constant ride along until further notice because he needs to get it together or whatever. It's just whatever needs to happen. We would go to the platoon leaders and they would take that. It's really going to be to qualify for any sort of platoon leader as the department is growing. It's sergeant or above, but right now there's only four platoons at the moment, and yeah, that's only four platoons. Now platoon transfers. How it's going to work is when someone is brought into CHP, when someone does their interview and they're accepted, they will be automatically assigned a random platoon unless at the time of their interview they either request to be in a certain platoon or a platoon leader requests them to be in their platoon. If right now the platoons are already set. Now, if you want to request to be put into a different platoon, what you can do, there's about 2 or 3 ways you can do this. The first way, you go to your platoon leader, request a transfer to, let's say you're in first platoon. You would go to Abe. You would request to transfer to second platoon. Then you would also go and talk to Foxtrot, who is leader of second platoon. Them two would talk to each other and decide, and they would make a decision. But both platoon leaders have to agree, or else the transfer cannot happen. A different way you can transfer is a platoon leader can request for you to be put in their platoon. Even if you don't want to, if it's for the best interest and both platoon leaders agree with it, is they would then go to Rodriguez, who would approve it and approve between the two, make sure all the platoon leaders and Rodriguez is agreeing. Then you would be put in a different platoon. So those are the 2 ways, or someone in CHP staff or one of the department heads just says you need to be in this platoon. Those are the 3 ways that you can be in a different platoon. So respective platoon leaders, they have complete control of their platoons and they can implement whatever they want in their platoons. They can give you special positions inside of their platoons, and they can give you squad leader positions. They can give you administrative positions. So there's advancement room for positions inside the platoon. They also will report to us if they think you should deserve a promotion or if you need discipline. How discipline is going to work? If you look at the platoon roster, you will see that there's a discipline category. And on the regular CHP roster, there's a discipline category. So on the CHP roster, the regular one, that goes 3 strikes, you're out. You either get demoted or you get kicked off CHP. How this is going to work? The platoon discipline is going to be given out a lot more than any other type of discipline. How it's going to go? You're going to get 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strike in platoon discipline. Once you get 3 strikes into platoon discipline, that counts as 1 strike in the CHP discipline, like the actual roster. Then your platoon discipline would reset. Then once you get another 3, then it would count towards 1 on the CHP roster, so that would count as 2 disciplines. So basically, you get 9 chances in first platoon, like whatever platoon you're in. You get 9 chances on platoon discipline, 3 chances in CHP discipline. Now that doesn't mean if it's bad enough, it'll go straight as 1 mark on the CHP discipline. So it's a matter of just giving chances and also keeping better tabs on people in the department. All right, this pretty much covers platoons. For that matter, transfers, how it's gonna work, what the point of it is. Also, I've told platoon leaders already know this, but it's their job to on the daily, if possible, make sure compare the platoon roster to the CHP roster to make sure once you get promoted or once someone once someone else is brought into the CHP, that they are put and updated on the platoon roster. And then that's another part, Rodriguez, what your job will come in. Every now and then, you will need to pop into platoon roster, make sure and compare the two, and make sure that everything is updated. If not, contact the platoon leader or just put it in yourself and update it. Rodriguez's job is to supervise the platoons. He is also a consultant for the platoon, so if platoon leaders or squad leaders have any questions, they bring it to him before they bring it through me or any other CHP department heads or division heads. So Rodriguez is kind of your guy to go to. Now, what will end up happening with platoons is once we start getting filled up platoons, let's say I want to try and keep 10 people to a platoon. So right now we have about almost 40 people in CHP, including CHP staff. So there's not exactly. So I want to like to keep 10 people in each platoon. Right now, first and second platoon are pretty much filled up. Third platoon has a few people, and then fourth platoon is about to get people. Once all 4 platoons are filled up with 10 people, I may consider bringing in more platoons, and that is possibilities for people being promoted to platoon leaders, but that is not a promise. All right, division heads. Oh wait, another thing with the platoons. If you look on the CHP roster, you will see there's a new section between FTO status and training certifications. It says platoons. NP stands for no platoon, meaning that's basically CHP staff. They aren't in platoons. PL means platoon leader. Then you will see first, second, third, and fourth categories divided by different colors. You will see that's how another way you can tell what platoon you're in. That's also how the platoon leaders, they will check on the daily. Let's say if I don't go ahead and when someone does an interview, if they don't go ahead and assign them on the platoon roster to a platoon, they'll just when they're putting them into the CHP roster, they'll just randomly select a platoon, and the platoon leaders will go in and see. They'll see a new person. They'll say, "Hey, this person is second platoon, but he's not on my platoon roster. I should put him on my platoon roster." That's how that's gonna go. Division heads. You may have noticed if you've looked at the CHP roster, there's a new section called division heads. There is first we have department head, which is HPO1 Drummond. We have administrative director, which is Verify Freeman. That is HPO2. We have head of operations, HPO3. That is me. And then we have the briefing chief, which is Max, HPO4. His job, if that's not clear, is he's the person who knows the department in and out. He'll know regulations, rules, procedures. He's going to know everything. He's also in charge of training basic. Head of operations, my job. I assist the department running smoothly. I check in on all the other divisions. I make sure everything is going well. I plan stuff out. I also do higher training. I basically make sure everything's running smoothly and that there's no problems. And I also just I keep the gears moving. Administrative director, that's Verify. As well as him being the deputy commissioner, he is in charge of roster, tie. He's in charge of making sure SOP. He's making sure everything is going smoothly verbally. He's making sure everything's typed out correctly. Make sure everyone's following the SOP. He's anything that you have, anything that needs to be typed up, anything that needs to be planned out, scheduling, anything like that. He's verifies the guy to go to, as well as him being the deputy commissioner and doing everything the commissioner can do. And then we have HR director. That's going to be Jones. That's basically human resources and relations. Any concerns, any problems, any complaints, any arguments, any verbal issues you have in the department or outside department, in game, out of game, whatever's going on, you talk to Jones about it. That's going to be like kind of your go-to person to talk about problems that you have, or if there's an issue with somebody, if you're getting into a fight with somebody, or you think that you're in trouble, or you have a concern, you'll go to Jones about it. And then those are your division heads at the moment. Now, within each division, there is assistant positions. Basically, the point of the assistant positions is to assist the person, the division head, as well as be trained to do it in case the division head is LOA, has to step down from their position, or is removed from their position. Basically, the assistant of that position will step into that position and take over. That way, we never have a problem or previously where all of CHP upper command gets wiped out and then no one is immediately trained. We have to adapt. That way, there's always someone lined up for that position, and that way, if that person is LOA or they're busy, that person can take care of it. All right. So you have your assistant of operations. That's Rodriguez. So he's basically doing some of the same things I'm doing, making sure the department's running smoothly. He's gonna be my right hand man. He's gonna be making sure everything runs smoothly. If I'm not available, you go to him. If it's concerning something that's operations wise, which is basically overall. Assistant chief, which is gonna be Foxtrot Delta. He is in HP 31. He's in Max's chief, HP 04. Is assistant chief. So he's once again, and he's going to be helping out with basic training. He is going to be knowing any regulations and rules and procedures that's going in the department, as well as helping out Max whatever he needs to. Abe, HP 34. He's the HR assistant, human resource assistant, basically helping out Jones. Any problems you have, any trouble, any concerns, or any arguments or fights, you go to him as well as Jones. Or if you go to him, he can relay it to Jones if Jones is not available. Basically, if none of the division heads are available for what your concern is or what you need for the division head that you need, if the division head's not available, you go to the assistant and they'll get it through. So there, that's basically it. Now, first platoons. Going back to platoons, because one thing I forgot is platoon leaders. Once someone gets assigned to a platoon, they're in charge of also getting someone's 1019 hours, assigning someone who's an experienced officer to do the person's 1019 hours or doing them personally for the person that's in their platoon. And after that, they will inform the right people, me, Rodriguez, Verify, or Drummond. Preferably, me or Rodriguez or Verify. That way we don't have to take it all the way to Drummond because he can stay busy at times. But if there is, once they complete their ride-along hours, messaging us so they can get their promotion to trooper. So yeah, that's another thing is platoon leaders are in charge of making sure that someone gets their 1019 hours and making sure they're getting all the field training they need. SOP. The SOP has been rewritten. The handbook rules, procedures, basically how the department works, has been rewritten by Verify, HPO2 Freeman. He made sure everything. I'm sure he will post a link to that in CHP announcements whenever he gets the chance. I'm going to go ahead and make that a mandatory that everyone needs to read that from first page to last page. Everyone needs to go through it, read it, understand it, because a lot of things have changed, a lot of things have been added. You need to learn this handbook. You need to make sure you understand everything, the rules and regulations and procedures. It'll just help you become a better officer, help you do better RPs, it'll help you out, help the department out. And honestly, the whole point of this, all these changes in this command structure, is to help with communication, keep people in the loop, and make sure everyone understands what's going on. Before, we were having people who are trooper recruits, troopers coming to people who are directly in CHP staff, and there was a huge break in communication because we didn't know what was going on quite much, and middle command was kind of left out. Now there's a ladder. You climb the ladder to get to the very top. You need to go through your platoon leaders. Platoon leaders will go through the assistants. Assistants will go through the division heads, which is CHP staff. So it's very, very structured command structure, and I would like to keep it that way. Advancement. Do not ask for positions. Do not ask for promotions. Do not ask to be ranked up. Your division heads and as well as your platoon leaders will decide that. and give recommendations for those who are in charge of promotions, as well as you can do it at trainings. Every time you go to a training, you have the opportunity to rank up. And this is a big misconception that I've had a problem with people coming to me with. Just because you go to a training doesn't mean you'll automatically get ranked up. Because either A, you could have been, ranked up for a different reason just previously prior, or you didn't perform well in training. Or for whatever, there's maybe another variable reason that you don't get promoted, but it's not a promise. So don't ask, hey, why didn't I get promoted at training? Also, rank jumps. It's not very common that we have rank jumps. And I know because I would like to keep everything, there's a time limit. You need to be this rank for a certain amount of period before you can proceed to the next rank. As well as you should be moving rank by rank by rank. Every now and then there'll be a rare occasion when you do see someone maybe jump a rank. I don't want to see anyone jumping a rank, more than one rank. The only time is to A, fill in a position, B, they are outstanding and they have a tremendous amount of experience, or C, there is a different reason that doesn't need to be said. So, but I don't want to see anyone complaining or being jealous or saying, hey, how come they got to do that but I didn't? There is always a reason. So do not question people's judgment. That is very disrespectful. So SOP, platoons, division heads, all that's covered.
Hey, Wasabi, real quick.
What's up?
Hey, the SOPs and stuff, it's still a work in progress. Myself and Freeman still have to go through, double check the handbook and then that, so I wouldn't tell people to go to it just yet. It probably won't be until next week.
Alright, so you heard him. Probably won't be to next week. SOP is currently still in the work, so tend to that. We'll let you know when SOP is ready to be gone through. I've heard you may have heard rumors that I'm not going to go into detail about it. CHP is getting a new look. We are getting new designs. I know I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying we're getting a new look. So, with that being said, there is going to be new car rosters, and there's going to be different some new spawn codes. And here's the thing: once that is implemented, unless you have it says on the car roster that you can drive that, do not drive anything until you are told that you can drive that, because we still have to figure out where everything is going. So there's enough on that. Freeman, do you think was there anything else I'm missing? I'm trying to think.
No, but I want to say something. Platoons, I don't see all platoons are equal. I don't care about the number. They're all equal. That it doesn't give you any further authority if you're some sort of squad leader in a platoon or whatever. It doesn't give any further authority outside of that platoon. Okay, I don't be people. I don't see a situation where someone's like, yeah, I'm in platoon 1, so I have higher authority than you. You are in platoon 2 or in platoon 4. I don't see that. Okay.
Well,
Otherwise, you change that up.
Exactly. So, like you said, if you're like your command, like let's say, for instance, let's look at here. Let's look at first platoon. Rick, he's third squad leader. Rick is in charge of everyone below him in the platoon logic in his first platoon. So HP 56 is in charge of HP 69, HP 67, HP 75, HP 76, HP 79, HP 84. Even though some of those are lower numbers than him, actually no, he's the highest number. Yeah, even though some of them are they may have been in longer or they're high ranking, he is the squad leader for that platoon. With that being said, he could not go over to second platoon and be like, hey, I'm third squad leader. You need to do what I say. No, you can't go to someone. Yeah, that's basically it. You can't go to another platoon. Your command only goes, and especially with other departments. I didn't see anyone. No one outranks someone in another department because your rank only is valid in your department. But yeah, your rank, your position, your platoon is strictly only to your platoon. Okay.
I'd like to say one thing.
What's up?
All right, same thing with the squad leaders and like assistants and stuff like that. Basically, let's say I make you like a squad, like the leader for my first squad. Your job is to keep an eye on your squad, and their job is to pass on information and stuff to you since you're the squad leader. And as a squad leader, you're basically what you're doing is passing on information onto me or my assistant. Like they're saying, it doesn't give you privilege or anything. All you're doing is you have power over them, basically. and you're just it's just to help me not be so over flooded with all these people and stuff asking me questions and stuff. It's just a kind of middleman type deal.
Well said.
Same thing goes for second platoon. Just because you're a watch commander or chief of guard, you can't go to somebody else in another platoon and say, "Well, I'm the watch commander in second platoon." Blah blah blah. No, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing you may see in different platoons. Their positions will be different titles. Like Abe's platoon is squad leaders, and Foxtrot's platoon it's the different names like watch commander and chief of the guard. So they no positions outrank each other unless you're in your own platoon. So like you said, chief of guard isn't in charge of third squad leader. First squad leader isn't in charge of chief of the guard. So it's strictly their platoon. I just want to make that very clear because if we catch people pulling ranks outside of their platoon, we're gonna do away with we'll still have platoons, but we'll do away with squad leaders and watch commanders and whatever they want to call it. So that's something. That's not a threat. That's a promise. Because I don't want to see that happening. I'm trying to keep this system very organized and neat, but I don't want to see anyone getting power hungry just because you're in a smaller position. I'm just trying to give people some better responsibility and just a command structure. This is something that no department has. We're the only department that has. I mean, it's kind of needed because we are the biggest department on the server right now. So I just want to see this work successfully. If it doesn't work out, we will take it out. But right now, I would very much like if you look at our roster looks amazing. Like our CHP roster, we have 3 new categories now. We have all kinds of things that we are so intricate. We have our if you look at our roster is filled out. We have people in every area of command, all the way from the very bottom to the very top. So our department is very filled out with still room to advance. So there is advancement positions. There is ability to do out. So I recommend everyone doing your best, really going above and beyond. Showing doing good impressions with people because there is so much room for advancement and leadership positions within this department, especially with this new command structure. With that being said, with this new commander, there's also a lot more room for discipline. So you can work both ways. You can either be rewarded or you can be disciplined based on this new command structure. That's honestly it with platoons, division heads, SOP, all that. There isn't really much more. Mainly, this meeting's just about so you know what's going on with platoons and division heads, just so you're not confused. If another thing is, since this obviously this isn't everyone in CHP, if you see someone who you know he wasn't at the meeting or whatever, just talk to them about it, kind of explain it to them. Spread this by word of mouth, kind of. If they're not at the meeting, I'm gonna try and have another meeting at some point again this weekend, just to make it clearer for those who haven't attended. Because I know not everyone can attend. I know it's also like Thanksgiving weekend. Well, not Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving week, so it's the holidays. So I know some people are out of town. That's another thing. This coming up week, I know people are going on vacation, going up to see their families. If you are going out of town for longer than 2 days, please DM me or verify that you are going LOA for the holidays and give us a date for when you're going to be back so we can put on the roster that you're LOA. That's only if you're going to be gone for more than 2 days. And that is okay. We just need to know who's here and who's not. That way we can, figure stuff out. I would like to keep everything updated as much as possible. That's why we have all these these responsibilities. And I'm gonna be legit here. I'm gonna probably squad leaders. I'm not gonna be mean. Like I'm be kind about it because you all are my friends. So like I'm gonna be nice, but like I am gonna try and ride people on keeping everything updated because before we were having confusion on that's how we get people with similar call signs. That's how we get people with like the same call signs. How we get people not knowing what they're supposed to do. Is there's not enough communication and stuff doesn't stay updated. With this system, everything should stay updated within 24 hours, preferably less. So, but I know people get busy, so I'm not gonna be riding people really hard. But I would like everything to stay updated. A few things: undercover units. Do not come asking for undercover. Undercover is hand selected. I know SO has more undercover units. They have a lot. I know, but CHP is a bit different. We're a bit more selective with ours, and that requires specific training. Also, look at the roster at the far right. You should see a thing called training stage on the CHP roster. That is your level of training. If you're basic, you train with Max. If you're higher, you train with me. If you're advanced, you train with Verify or Drummond. So basically, to view it like this, unless you're in advanced training, you don't qualify for undercover. Even if you're like, you're not even qualified to be selected. You need to be advanced training before you can even be qualified to be selected. Motor unit, that's hand selected as well by Drummond himself. Um, those are two subdivisions. Air one. There's only ever going to be 3 pilots, and that's not my rules. That's not Drummond's rules. It's not Verify's rules. That's Clark specifically. There's only going to be 3 pilots. That's Drummond, Verify, and myself. Now, co-pilots. That's a different story. So co-pilots, the moment you get to the level of higher training, you start qualifying for being able to fly a co-pilot for Air 1. Meaning you get trained, you get to ride in Air 1 whenever a pilot's online or whenever they need you. So that is a type of thing that you may want to strive for to attend. So here's the thing. If you attended basic training, you then move. So here's the thing. If you're a trooper or probationary trooper, well, after probationary trooper, you automatically get promoted to trooper. If you're a trooper or first class trooper, then you're doing basic training. The moment you make corporal, you start doing higher training with me. So once you make corporal, you qualify for Air 1 training. Corporal and sergeant and staff sergeant. Those are higher training. So you'll do basically you can do 3 higher trainings before you max out on your higher trainings. Once you make higher trainings, once you get past staff sergeant, once you get to staff sergeant, you're probably going to stay at staff sergeant for a bit, just because that's almost as high as you can go without being appointed a position. So that's kind of the thing. Expect lieutenants and captains and majors. Those are all going to be positions. Those are going to be ranks for positions. Meaning, if you make it into that rank, you're going to have a specific job in this department. All right, it's pretty much it, honestly. Questions. All right. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go down the line. That way we don't have a million people talking at once. Rodriguez, do you have any questions or anything to say?
No, I just want to make sure. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I just want to make sure that even though you guys are in different platoons, that I don't want to see one platoon group just helping out each other and not helping up anybody else. We're all one team. That's just kind of wanted to highlight on, and that's all that I have.
Yeah, perfect. That's brilliant. Do not gang up. That's another thing. The platoons. I don't want these platoon things to divide the department. Physically, it's dividing the department, but I mean it's just to keep people organized. But I don't want to see people ganging up. I don't want to see that. And if Rodriguez sees that and he tells me, I'll put you in a different platoon immediately. That way you're forced to be in a different platoon. You're forced to associate with different people. And if I catch people ganging up, they'll all be. If I catch this happening, I'll mix up all the platoons. I'll put everyone's name in a hat and I'll mix them up. That way you'll all be with different people. Help each other out. All right, Freeman, do you have anything to say or any questions?
Yeah, I was gonna add to you. If it gets to that stage, we're probably just gonna be just changing it every month, like constantly, just so you guys just get different people every month, pretty much.
Sure.
And another thing, other departments clearly run different from us, so I don't care if, for example, SO has starts what's called UCD undercover at like 30 and lower. Okay, they have to do an application. They run differently. Okay, don't go to another department just because I know we have someone who came in and etc. and be like that. Okay, don't expect us to run like other departments. For a different department, we run differently.
All right, Jones, do you have any questions or anything to say? I think Jones AFK. Hammer, do you have any questions or anything to say?
Nope, I'm good.
Foxtrot, any questions or anything to say?
Everybody take a look at the platoon roster. If you're in second platoon, we're going to be going to CHP Hangout 2 as soon as this meeting's over.
All right. Like you said, so if you look at the rosters, if you're second platoon, go there. Also, Abe, HP34, anything to say? Or any questions?
Yeah, same traffic, but we're gonna go to CHP training room 1 instead.
All right.
If you're in platoon.
HP 57. Any questions or anything to say?
No.
HP 59. Any questions or anything to say?
No, except HP 31. Before you go into your meeting, I need to report on that 1019 you had.
10-4, just send me a DM on that on the situation.
Right.
Okay.
HP 67. Any questions or anything to say? All right. Discord's picking up your audio, but we're not hearing anything. Excuse me. I'll let you know if we hear anything. I'm gonna move on until you can figure it out, and then just come back to you. HP 78. Any questions or anything to say?
Nope.
10-2, all was understood.
All right. HP 82. Anything? Any questions or anything to say? Why do we have
Wait,
two,
who?
Wait, hang on. Why do we have two HP 87s?